What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. And here recently, a Florida woman who shot and killed a neighbor through the front door was arrested. Now, the mother was going to knock on the door because the neighbor had threw a skate at him. Now, this was a white woman and a black woman. And they said a white woman threw a skate at one of the black kids, so the black mother went to the door and knocked on the door, and the woman said that she was in fear for her life, and she shot through the door and killed her. Now, she wanted to kill that mother for a very long time, and she was looking for a reason to do it. There's no doubt about that. I have a neighbor. I have white neighbors, live right next door. They have children. If I threw a skate at one of those kids, the father or the mother, guaranteed 100% will come knock on the door. There's no way, shape, form in hell that I can shoot through the door and kill them just for them knocking on the door, even if they knock aggressively. Because believe you me, if you threw something at somebody's kids, they're not going to come ringing the doorbell like Jehovah's Witnesses. They're going to come, and it's going to be somewhat of an aggressive knock because the people want to protect their children at all costs. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, in this clip, you're going to see that this has been an ongoing thing between these two neighbors. And they said it was like a lot of racial things said back and forth between the two. But that's no reason to shoot and kill somebody. Because obviously this woman threw her life away. And I'm pretty sure she will be prosecuted. Because like I said, you can't just shoot somebody through the door. There's no way. Now, if they were trying to kick the door down, that's one thing. And they said the lady had a ring cam. And the ring cam was possibly erased. Was it erased? I would bet 100% allegedly. But let's take a look at this clip.
A Florida mother was gunned down next to her child following a long-standing feud with her neighbor.
But the alleged shooter has not yet been charged, and Florida authorities are facing pressure to act fast.
Natalie back now with more on this story.
Corey and Dawn, 35-year-old Ashika Owens was shot and killed last week. It happened during a confrontation with a white neighbor. County police say they are still investigating the neighbor's claim of self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Family attorney Ben Crum says the neighbor had...
And yes, they did arrest her, but I just want to go over this clip and, you know, get a few more details. And yeah, Florida is a Stand Your Ground state, but like I said in the other video before talking about the Glendale School District, there's boundaries and lines to where you just can't cross and then claim I'm standing my ground. Not from inside of your house. Now, like I said, if the lady had kicked the door open, you have every right to shoot. But if somebody knocks on your door and want to ask you some questions, no way you can shoot through the door.
Been yelling racial slurs at Owens' children who were playing nearby before the shooting. It allegedly escalated when the neighbor threw a pair of skates at one of the kids. When Owens went over to confront the neighbor, she was shot multiple times through the front door.
My grandchildren's mother was shot and killed with her 9-year-old son standing next to her. She had no weapon. She posed no imminent threat to anyone.
Police have not confirmed if racial slurs were used, but they do say the confrontation between the neighbors was aggressive. Owen's children are between the ages of 4 and 13. Her family is planning to hold a vigil in her honor on Thursday. Dawn?
And this one more clip. Obviously, like I told you, the lady had been arrested. And like I said, man, you just, when you start talking about people's kids, man, people get a little aggressive. But that don't give you a right to shoot and kill somebody. Sometimes you got to face the music. You fucking with people's kids. There's no doubt about it. Well, let's see what the sheriff's department had to say in Florida.
Breaking news.
The woman accused of shooting and killing a mother of 4 in Ocala is now in custody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. Fox 35's Valerie Boy is live right now outside the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And Valerie, we understand that the sheriff is with you right now.
That's right, Luann. You know, I have just been told that the accused shooter is in custody, and at that moment I was told she had not yet been arrested, but now joining me is Sheriff Billy Woods. And Sheriff Woods, tell me, has she been arrested yet?
She has been arrested. She's here on our campus here. She's being there. My detectives are finishing up with some interviews with her at this time, and then once they have concluded, she will be escorted into the county jail.
And is her name being released yet?
At this moment, no, it's not, but here soon it will be, and it'll be out there in a press release that my PIOs are about to give out.
And can you tell me what was it that determined she did shoot this woman and that it was not an act of self-defense?
You know, the whole time we had only one side of the story, okay? We know that she shot through the door. Of course, on her side of the story, she makes claims that her life was being threatened. And the way the laws are written in this state, and this is what people need to understand, is our hands are tied in law enforcement in these cases where we are instructed that we cannot make the arrest because we have to rule out whether the shooting was justified or unjustified. So one of the biggest things is the interview of witnesses, and some of our witnesses were the mother's kids. And obviously we were not going to interview them that night after watching their mother be shot and killed, okay? So we did it on Monday morning so that they sat down with counselors. They didn't, it wasn't my investigators, it's to do this the right way so that they could sit down and the counselors can talk to them to get the children to talk, and they did. And we got a bigger picture, we got the full picture. And a lot of the hard work of my detectives wanted to ensure that we closed all the loopholes. So,
and do I believe the sheriff? Somewhat. There, in these states like Florida, the laws can be very, very tricky. And like he said, he wanted to close some of the loopholes to make sure that she couldn't use certain things. And they say it was a Ring doorbell camera, so that's interesting. And I wonder, can you refetch, because in America, on our phones, on our computers, nothing can actually be erased. You guys know that, right? Like nothing. You can't erase that shit. That shit is on the cloud now. Now the stuff that we think we can personally erase, they still can find a way to get that information back off of your phone, computers, tablets, laptops. It doesn't matter.
That she would not have a defense of using stand the ground law. And this is not a stand the ground. Okay, so let me make that clear. This was not. And it was an unjustified shooting of Miss Owen, and she's arrested for it.
And what was it like for you to see the protests, to see the emotions so high, saying, why hasn't there been an arrest yet?
You know, it's frustrating internally because there's so much information like myself, us CAOs and law enforcement have. We know the direction is.
And I will say this in police department, in police defense, this one thing is that sometimes you have to get everything, all your ducks lined up in a row, exactly what are we going to charge this person with. Make sure we interview everybody, we cross all the T's and dot all the I's to make sure when we make this arrest that it's not just an arrest we made out of emotion, that we made this arrest out of facts. And once the facts all come together, then you can make the proper arrest and give the proper charges.
We can't give out information, and it's difficult because here's the truth. Did we want to make the arrest that night? Absolutely we did. There's no doubt about it. It's tragic when we see somebody that just shoots through a door and shoots another human being, really just because of a neighborhood squabble. That's what it boiled down to. And it's extremely frustrating because these people that come, and let me make this clear, this is not, what we saw today was not my community. Now, they'll stand up for what they believe in. But that was not Marion County. The majority of these people that come, they're not even from this community. They're not even from this state. And my community knows that justice will be served, and justice was served tonight from my office. And we will get it through the prosecution, and that's the other part of the process is that we have to ensure that the case we build, and we give it to the state attorney's office, that when it does go to trial, it's sealed. And we all know, we know it's up to the jurors when it comes to a case, if she even goes that far. But we want to ensure that we haven't missed anything. And my detectives work hard, vigilantly, and they've been working hard and vigilantly since that night.
And so what will the charge be?
Right now, the first charge is manslaughter with the firearm, culpable negligence because of the children being present. Third, because of the incident with the children just prior, the additional charges are assault and battery on the children themselves before the shooting that occurred.
And was there Ring video of this whole incident?
That one I don't know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
But it was really the children that...
Children were the key, and any other witnesses in which we had. More of the Ring thing is just affirmed to us of what we were looking for is her possibly deleting Ring video. So I don't know, personally, I do not have all of that information at this time to be able to give you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Okay, and as you just heard,
And I just want to go over that clip, you guys, because, you know, a lot of things are happening out here and we just have to be careful. But I don't think it was really no avoidance. Once the lady threw the skate and your child tell you, hey, an adult threw something at me, a parent will always say, hey, you don't say nothing to that adult. You let us handle this. And the child did what the child was supposed to do. The child went and told the mother. The mother came to the front door, which is, like I said, that's normal. If your child tell you that an adult tried to hit them, I don't give a damn who the parent is, how big the person is, what's going on. The parent is going to try to find out what the hell's going on. So this has been something that's been going on for a very long time between those two, but unfortunately ended in this young lady's death, and those children are without their mother for the rest of their lives now. Extremely unfortunate, terrible. The children are blaming themselves a lot for this, and they're going to need a lot of counseling. There's no doubt about that. And it's extremely unfortunate, but, you know, I just want to go over that clip, you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on any parent would have went and knocked on that door right. Peace.